Steve Weyerts here. I'm going to show you how to install these Fender locking tuners without a jig. It's actually really simple. So let's get on with it. First thing you want to do, and I already installed this so I could go through this, and I had to take them back apart. I can't play my guitar until I put a video on YouTube. It's kind of like when I go to eat dinner. My wife fixes up a plate and I'm ready to dive in. Wait! You can't eat that. I gotta take a picture of it first. So, here we go. Piece of painter's tape. Just slice these holes right here. You don't need a jig for this. I sell all kinds of jigs. I was a little bit intimidated by them until I figured out an easy way to do this. Anybody should be able to do this. And that's it. Okay. Now these locking tuners are staggered. And this is short one. Okay, now just set these down in the hole. So what you're going to do here is you're going to mark your own pilot holes by using the tuners themselves. They've got these two little nubs on here, and you have to drill holes for them. Don't let that, stop you from buying them. And I've never used these before. I'm hoping that they work great. My guitar will stay in tune. I put the Planet Waves on my Kramer Beretta Special, and they just bolted right on. There was no pegs or anything. And then just one screw, and it fit in the exact location. But these are different, and since I'm going with the Fender style Strat guitar on this one, I decided to go with the Fender locking tuners. Okay, so you got those sitting in there, and now all you want to do is take your nut and your washer, and it'll actually start tightening up over here from this side. Now just barely put it on there, just where it starts to tighten. Get down here. All right, we got 2 more to go. Shown in real time. This doesn't take long to do this. And like I said, you don't need a jig. I'm going to show you how to line these up perfectly straight here in a second. Okay, I got those tight enough where they're not going to fall off. We're looking at it just like that. Let's turn it back over. Next thing you want to do, get yourself a piece of wood. You want to make sure that these guys are straight. And they are. But you can also clamp a piece of wood on here just to ensure that, and you can use any clamp. I happen to have this clamp. And you can put more than one clamp on here if you want. Put one there. Hold on. I don't even know that you need a clamp. You just need something straight like that to ensure that your tuners are straight. There you go. Turn it over. Now all you need to do is just take your wrench, okay, and tighten them up enough where it's going to make indents on your tape. And it'll actually, depending on how tight you go, it'll make indents on your guitar neck too, right where you're going to drill. And you don't want to get wild on this because you're not trying to drive those pegs through the wood yet. Okay, that actually should have marked your tape. So what you want to do now is take them all back off again. And let's put them back in order. Get this back. You can do them by the fingers. While I am doing this, I used to pastor a church, but I am not following the mainstream organized religion that's going on right now. I can't even recommend a church for you to go to, but I can recommend an authorized King James version of the Bible. And I have a website called pastorstevew.com, and I wrote a book called The Truth About You and God. There's also another one called Time is Running Out, and they are both free from my website, pastorstevew.com. Download it, read it, share it, print it, copy it, just don't change it. I mean, I can't even tell you church to go to. Bunch of money-making organizations. They worship money. They vote money. Everything has to do with money. The gospel is free. Okay, so there's that. These don't have to be in order. Where'd that washer just go? Hold on. It's got to be in my hand somewhere. I'll figure that out later. There it is. Okay. Now let's take the clamps off. And what we have here on the back, now if you can see this, your holes are all marked for you. Exactly where you want to drill them. And you can just come in now. I've got a 5/64 on here, which is a little small, but I want everything nice and tight. And I've actually already drilled them. At this point, you could actually take a put on a pair of glasses, or you could take a black belt pin, you know. And you only want to go down, you know, as far as the things. I've tried putting a piece of tape on here and the tape slides. The next thing you know, you're going to drill all the way through your neck. So you just need to be careful. And just go down far enough to get those pegs in there. Like I said, I already did this before. You take this off. Take the tape back off. This is painter's taping. It's all ripping. Not very sticky stuff. I had it tightened down there. I can work on getting these small pieces off later. Stay. But there you have it. You got your holes drilled in there. Now you still have this one little hole where the other tuners used to be. Hey, it's a Frankenstrat. Nobody cares. And this is a number 3. So, take this. Look at that. Line it right up on those pegs, on those holes. And then let's tighten it down. And this time we're going to go tight enough to get the pegs to set in those holes. Like I said, I went a little small on the holes, and we'll see here. All right, so I don't want to tighten this down where it's going to come all the way through here. So I would go bigger than this 5/64. Apparently, let's get back in here. The next one up is a 3/32. And I think there's probably a metric size in between those two. And maybe I'll go buy myself a metric drill bit set. But that's it. So, and what I did was to find that size. But this maple is hard, so if it was pine, it would probably go right in there, because I was trying it out. So I drilled different holes on a piece of wood here. Let me get it in here. Different sizes. So the bigger ones I think are 3/32, and the other ones are 5/64, and I just tried the pegs until I could figure it out. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the 3/32. I have it here, and let's try it on one of them. I got it right here. By hand even. Now that I have the holes drilled. Just make it a hair wider. And let's see how this goes. That's perfect. Let's get a nut on there. Yeah, all the way down. You know, it's Fender, so why is everything metric, you know? Even this is a 10mm wrench. Okay, so then all you gotta do is just put the rest of them on there. Just a little bit, you know. That's all it was. Perfect. All right. You get the picture? I'll see you next time. Check out my website, pastorstevew.com. Like I said, I'm an ex-pastor, and you can go to church for 20 years and never find God. And because it's turned into a self-help group and a get quick rich scheme. And I'm going to tell you something. If that stuff they're preaching worked, I'd been retired a long time ago.